Hello, hello. Welcome to the first episode of Cafecito in English. I'm very excited for you to be here. Um, I am Andy. My name is Andy. I'm from Mexico. And this is a very important project for me. This is my second try to do a podcast. And I'm very excited to share this journey with you guys. As you can hear, I have an accent, as I said before, I'm from Mexico. The reason why I'm doing this in English and not in Spanish is because I want to improve my English. So I was thinking in funny ways of, improve this language and how can I get better and be less shy and maybe feel more confident when I'm speaking with other English speakers out there. Um, I'm 26. I'm Taurus, and I never been outside my country. That is Mexico. I do like to travel. I right now I'm just traveling, in the country because it's right now things are very difficult to go outside. I hope I can go to Europe next year. That's in my vision board. So let's see what happens. And with a little introduction of myself, I will share more about me in the next episodes. I just wanted to give you a very warm welcome to the podcast and to share with you why I'm doing this in English and not in Spanish. Other reasons are because I really want to be confident when I'm speaking in English because I have a 9 to 5 job, actual 8 to 5 job, and all of my coworkers live on the States. I work from home and I'm very blessed to work from home. So I do want to improve my English because of them too. We have meetings every Monday morning, and I realize that every time that I need to speak and I need to give my up my I need to say what I'm going to do this week. Um, Usually I get froze, like I forgot that I know how to speak English and that I understand them, but for some reason I'm not able to speak in a confident way to them. um I don't know why is this. Probably because I usually on my daily basis activities in the job I don't speak with anybody. It's mostly everything on Teams messages and emails and all of that. um so I think that's why, because I'm losing like the contact of speaking with another person in English. I try to. I am a person that always talk alone in my house when nobody's in here. And I always do this, like, I don't know if you guys have done that in the past, but um I pretend that I'm being interviewed by Jimmy Fallon. And that's how I practice, but I realize that I need to get feedback because probably I'm saying a lot of things in the wrong way and nobody's there to correct me. So this is a free space for anyone who wants to share tips or, I don't know, just share their knowledge about how to learn a language and what can help me. Because another thing that I need to share is that I have never been on language school or English schools or any like that. I learn what I know so far from, uh, translating songs. I'm a very huge fan of Michael Jackson, so kudos to MJ because thanks to him, I know how to speak English. My dad as well. My dad is a waiter, and before being a waiter, he was like the dishwasher on hotels and restaurants. And in order for him to, you know, being promoted to waiter, he needed to speak English. So he started learning at work, and he every time I remember when I was 4 or 5 years old, every time he came home it was like, oh, I learned this today. So that's how I learned like the basic stuff like numbers and colors and how to say mom and dad and all of that. So I'm very thankful for those chances and the first contact with the language. Um, so don't expect perfection here, because I really sometimes you will hear me like being stubborn on, well, it's not stubborn. I don't know what's the word. Um, if you're hearing this and you speak Spanish, like como que me trabo, you will see those moments. You will hear those moments of me, um, like thinking out loud of what's the word for this that I want to say. So, and also just to share, just to feel better about myself on learning a language, but also if you are learning English or you are learning in Spanish, to share some tips that have helped me with the language and how to um, improve that part, uh, both sides, you and me. I don't know, I think it's a very nice project. I'm very excited because I have a couple of ideas, but I was like just postponing the moment of recording because I was too afraid of how this is going to be, like how I'm going to do this. um, so welcome. This is a very long welcoming words. So I already told you who I am. I have my notes here. I have my notes. Um, so I have here the introduction. Why am I doing this? What to expect? As I already told you, I just want to improve my English. I want to feel more confident on how to speak when I know that someone else is probably hearing this, and to be less shy and don't feel ashamed about me not speaking perfectly English, because I do speak Spanish, English. I know a little bit of German. I understand a little bit too, and understand a little bit of French as well. Um, but I so far I just speak English and Spanish like out loud. um, and also because if in the future I will love, well, if I want to like be in another type of positions, in the corporate world and or any other type of job, this is necessary. This being me trying to express myself in the best way possible. So I want to be able just to be better at speaking English. That's it. um Also because it's really fun to try something new. I'm working really hard right now on learning new things, on trying to just doing different things for myself, and I don't know, just to share in another way. um I will do some episodes on Spanish too, in case that you are learning Spanish, that you are an English speaker and you want to learn Spanish. I'm here to help you too. I'm not a teacher, but I will try to guide you in the best way possible. Um, so the other thing that I wanted to, another point, so I don't forget, it's the accents myths. You will also hear that I don't know how to pronunciate words perfectly. I want to get better at that too. In the vocalization, I don't know if that word exists. I think it is. It exists. This is going to happen a lot, so just get used to that. These accent thoughts or beliefs that people have, that once that you learn a language, for example, let's just use English. If I hear a lot people saying that if you are learning how to speak English, you don't have to have an accent. And as a personal opinion, I respect all other opinions, but as as a personal opinion, I do think that's not something that you need to worry about if you're learning a new language, because it's learning how to speak again. Like if you're a baby but you're learning English instead of Spanish or whatever is your first language. um and it's okay to have an accent. So get that pressure off you, that you don't need or you should not have an accent, because it's like a crime or something for the English police. So that's not true. That's not true. And I do want to encourage people to not worry about the accent yet if you are learning, if you are in the first stages of learning something, especially a language, is not necessary for you to be perfect and speak like an American or like a British people. You don't have to do that first. That will be my recommendation, so you can focus first on learning words and learning context, because other thing on the journey of learning a new language is not only the language, it's not only the words, it's also the context and the culture of the country or the countries that speak that language. For example, in I don't know, German. I'm gonna use that because that's my first reference. um, when I started to learn German, I realized that for me it was easier to understand why Germans say things in certain ways by learning about their culture. For example, I know, and if, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know that they don't have this well, this habit. Custom is another word. It means another thing. This habit of split, like, for example, if you and I are on a date and the check just came, we ask for the check, and they usually the waiters will ask you if you want to split it or if you want it like all together. And in the, well, where I was learning German, they teach you like the restaurants part, like how to ask for food or for a drink or how to split the bill and all of that. And I didn't know that they didn't have this habit of I don't know, if I invite you, I pay. They really have that clear that the waiter is always going to ask you if you should split the bill or not. So I don't know if that's, it will be a thing of the culture because we don't do that here in Mexico. That's what that was a terrible example. I don't know if you understand what I say or what I mean. Um, but yeah, just keep that in mind that every time that you want to learn something new, especially a language, it helps a lot if you learn about the context of the country and the country culture, because that's what will open the doors in your mind to, like, I don't know how to say, like shortcuts in your mind, so you can learn faster and better. um what else? Well, that's what I wanted to share about the accent thingy, because I think we pressure ourselves all the time that, oh, I don't want to speak, because I know people that they know English but they don't speak it because they don't sound like sound like an American or a British people, like you sound like a Mexican speaking another languages, because that's what you are. You are Mexican, Latin American, or I don't know where are you hearing this podcast, but that's what you are. You are someone who first language is Spanish and you are learning English, so that's okay. Or if you are learning Spanish and you don't have this accent from Mexico, from many other Latin America country, it's because you speak English as first language, and that's okay. So don't pressure yourself on, my dog start barking, and I need some water. That's my first advice. It's okay to have the accent. So get that rid of your head. I don't know if I'm saying this in the correct way, by the way. Um, but that's, I mean, you are going to hear a lot of words saying, like, that I'm saying words in the wrong way. But that's what I want to improve as well, like how fast I can think and, make these sentences, and I don't know, just sound natural. I will worry about the accent later. So this is me, and probably I already share how I learn what I know. I like to speak in English because it's I don't know, I'm not saying that this is another personality of me. But I don't know what happened in my brain that I don't know, kind of make me feel more myself. I don't know if I'm able to, maybe because of my job, but I do feel that I can express more ideas, or the ideas can just flow in a better way than I do in Spanish. I also speak horrible in Spanish. Most of the time, I do not how to. I don't know how to articulate correctly some words. Sometimes, if you hear me speak in Spanish, you're going to hear like because I don't open my mouth when I'm speaking, and that's because I never been someone that speaks that much. Um, in social events, or when I have to speak with someone, it's I'm very shy. My tone of voice is not that loud, and there are always people repeating like, "What do you say?" or "Can you speak louder because I can hear you?" So yeah, that's me. So I'm working on that too, because part of other things that I would love to do besides get promoted on my job, it's also be able to give conferences. Is that how you say it? Yeah, conferences. um be able to speak with a big crowd, and be able to don't be worried about how I'm speaking, or if people can hear me, but being more worried about what I'm saying, not how I'm saying it, the content of what I'm saying. um I'm also, another way for me to improve it is reading in English, and I actually have some books that I bought last year, but I haven't read it. I haven't read those yet. I'm going to do that this summer. I probably will do a video of you know books to read this summer, and a couple of them are in English. So I don't know. I'm very excited of this project. It's a project for me because I don't know where it's going to end. I don't know where this project is going to take me. Um, I try to visualize good things. If you ask me, I would love to have well, uh, U.S. citizens or people from Europe, or I don't know, people who they are not from Mexico, and that the first language is English, and is I actually, just a disclaimer right here, I confuse a lot when I say is or are in some words. Until I hear it, it is like my brain automatically just correct me, and it's like it's not are, is. So probably you will hear that a lot, that I correct myself in the moment. um but yeah, people that is not from Mexico, but is also like their first language are the first language is, Jesus Christ, the first language is English. So that's the purpose of the podcast too. Probably not now, because it's just the first episode, and I need to see if people hate me or not for doing this. I hope not, because this project really has good intentions. Like, I just want to speak about things that I always speak with myself. Like, I don't speak with these things with anybody. So I'm sharing, I'm being vulnerable right now, vulnerable right now. Um, and I don't know, pretty funny for me because I'm not like this. I don't speak like this that often. And as I said, it's not like it's another personality, because I'm like this when I'm speaking Spanish too, but I don't get to share that much with people. Um, I don't know. It will be something. I would love to have John Mayer in the podcast. I've been listening to his podcast, and he's really funny. I never thought that John Mayer could be that funny. Um, I like him now. Um, I don't know. Some people. Oh, you know who? Emma Chamberlain. I love that girl. Love her. Um, So I would love to do something with her. I would love Duolingo to sponsor this podcast too. So this, I promise you, I will be constant, and it's constant. Yeah, it is, right. Um, I'll persist with the content and with the creation of the episodes. I promise. Um, Well, that's a little bit about me, a little about my personal journey with English. As I say before, I learned by translating songs and mostly my dad. I also learned a little bit practicing at my first job that it was as a waitress. And that's when a lot of people correct me every day, every moment, every hour, because I knew how to say things, but at the moment that I opened my mouth, I always say it in the wrong way. So I learned a lot there too. I still learning. I think this is something that you need to practice, and you need to be kind to yourself, even if you have 10 years. You've been speaking the language for 10 years now, or 20, or whatever. It's always going to be something new to learn. For example, I didn't know that TGIF means thank God it's Friday. I didn't knew that. And my manager Ava told me that, and I was like, what is this? Like, she sent me a message. I don't know why I told her, but she sent me a message with TGIF, and I was, what is this? And I I asked Google Gemini, what is this? And that's when I knew that it was thank God it's Friday. So now I have that in my head all the time. That probably there are a lot of it's acron. How do you say it? Give me one second. Let me Google then. It's acronyms. I usually use AI just to look for things faster because it gives me. I love that it gives me like a list of things. So that's pretty cool. So if you, I don't know, are reading and you don't know what that word means, I mean, the iPhones have this app, I think, for for you to translate words, but also you can ask Gemini. So maybe Gemini can give you more context about that word or what that means or whatever. Um, so please Google sponsor this project too. Um, um, yeah, another recommendation would be to, in the journey of learning, to be kind to yourself. It's okay to not knowing how to say things that quickly, or to not be the best on expressing yourself, as long as you as long as long as you are able to express the idea of what you want to say, or I don't know, just try to communicate it. That's okay, that's okay. It's part of the journey, it's the part of the beginning. But practice here. Like I recommend a lot to listen to podcasts in English, especially on YouTube, because you can see the expressions, and understand better from the context, because that happens when I'm reading in English, that I don't understand for one single word. I'm not able to understand the whole sentence or the whole idea. And I read a little bit more, and then I get the context. And it's like, oh, that's what the word means. Okay, that's the word that it's important on this idea, on this context of the book, of the, I don't know, um, yeah, of the page or whatever. So you learn a lot about the context, and I will suggest to watch carefully when you are looking when you're watching movies, when you are watching YouTube videos or podcasts. It helps a lot if you have something visual, or depends also on how you learn. Um, I'm a very visual person. I learn by looking, like by watching. It's by watching, not by looking. Stop, Andrea, please stop. Um, it's by watching. I learn a lot by watching how people do other things they want to teach me. I do learn better too by listening, by hearing. But it's better for me if I can see it. If I see it, I'm able to do it in the first try most of the times. um so let's just, I don't know, if you're learning something new, and if you're learning Spanish, I encourage you to learn about Mexican culture. I encourage you to learn not only from Mexico, but also from other Latin American countries. If you want to learn the Spanish of Latin America, if you want to learn the Spanish of like Spain, it's Spain, the context, and the culture that you need to learn, because it's two different things. Even in Latin America, we have different things for the Spanish, but it's kind of the same. You can just separate it too. But the Mexico one is also. But yeah, if you want to learn Spanish, I will suggest you to, depending on the context, if it's because you are coming to the country, or it's because you just want to learn, or if you have a girlfriend that is from Mexico or Latin America and you want to learn and to impress her family of his family. uh, Learning the context, it's a good start. It's a good advice for you to start, a good tool for you if you want to learn. Also for any other language, it's and I think it's good that we encourage other people to learn a language. It could be Spanish, it could be English, it could be German, French, Chinese, whatever. Because learning a language, it doesn't only teach you how to speak to someone else from other country, it also gives you a really whole new world of ideas of a culture. Like you get knowledge not only on the language part, or how to say words, how to communicate, and how to get credits for the college. Not only that, it also gives you an open door to a whole new world of possibilities of knowing other people, meeting other people, like um make new friends, or just get new knowledge. Like you guys have no idea how many books, how many movies, how many songs I have discovered by learning a new language. And English, of course, give me another thing, give me a whole new world of possibilities in things like music, books, um I don't know, movies, oh, art. Like it gives you that, it gives you the open door to understand and appreciate better music, songs, movies, books, especially books, because there are a lot of books that are not translated in Spanish. So I needed to buy them in English, and it's like that's not like the best thing, but it take those obstacles of you. Like if the language is a barrier or an obstacle for you, is it's not going to be anymore if you learn if you learn how to speak, or how to, if you understand the language. So I encourage you, maybe if you don't want to travel and speak with other people, that's okay, that's up to you. But if you see it like, oh, I'm going to learn another new language because is going to give you more options on what to watch, what to listen, what to I don't know, what to create to, I don't know, there's a lot of positive things. And it will make you, I don't know, more, and I don't know, empathic with the people that struggle with the language, because it's not easy. It's not easy. And as I said at the beginning, it's like learning how to speak again, like if you were a baby right now. I was about to say something else. Another It was another good thing about learning language. Oh, your brain. Yeah, the scientists say it all the time that you need to learn new things because it creates new connections in your brain, and that's what makes your brain happy, when you have new connections, like when you learn something new, when you challenge yourself and learning something. And you need to know that there is no rush. You can learn how to speak fluently in 10 years, or in 20, or in 10, like I did. um it's okay. There is I mean, is there, no one is rushing you. There is no such thing as language police. That's okay. You just take your own time, do it on your own rhythm. It's okay for you to feel sometimes stuck, or that you're not able to understand something. Ask for help. There is a lot of content and a lot of people out there doing free content for you to learn a language, in English, in Spanish, in German. I learn what I know in German because there is a lot of people, sharing their knowledge in YouTube and internet. So use internet for something good like that. um, that would be my recommendation. Listen to music on the language that you want to learn, and you will see that you will probably discover new things. I mean, there's a lot of French music that I like. I don't understand them all, but I like it. I don't know. I like how it make me feel, and it's like, oh, I will understand it, not now, but later. And I don't know. There are a lot of things that you can get from learning besides knowing how to say words and how to speak or how to express yourself. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm going to do this episode very short because I don't want you to. Well, I'm just going to do it short because it's an introduction of the project. And for the next episode, I have this um, subject of the pain of taking care of you. It's on my notes. That's the idea that I have for the episode too, and I'm going to talk about um, just a little bit of the pain of taking care of you. Um, I want to share a little bit of my journey on therapy and all the things that I'm improving now on that part. And I don't know. I feel that I just awake from a very long nap, 6 years nap. Yeah, that's how I say it, yeah. Um, so it's been a long nap, and I feel that I wake up and I've been learning a lot of things. Um, and I don't know. I think that when you learn something new, whatever are you learning, that you let behind versions of you that no longer, I don't know, that you can no longer hold forever. Like you need, like when you learn something new, it's like you discover new phases of you and new things of you, and it could be good. It could be a good experience, but could also be painful a little bit because it will show you maybe it will probably you leave beliefs of you behind. Like if you learn something new, you start being like persistent and you have discipline and you really are kind to yourself and you really try to learn in the best way possible and the best way that works for you, you will probably notice that those beliefs that people saying to you, like, oh, you cannot do that, or it's not possible for you to learn that in a year, or it's not possible for you to speak, or it's not possible for you to be successful or have that job, because they will ask someone who speaks fluently that language and you don't speak that language fluently and things like that, like sometimes people is very like they don't want to see you grow. And you when you're learning something new and you're showing those skills that you're learning, please don't let anyone get on your way and tell you things like that, because they don't know how much it costs you. So when you're trying to improve yourself, there are always going to be someone who wants to remind you versions of you that no longer exist, because you are discovering new new versions of you, new a new person, a new um you're getting better, like you are really improving things in yourself. And sometimes that can make people freak out because they realize like, oh, I'm not doing anything, and it's like, is your path, only you know how much work and sacrifice costs you to maybe just said a sentence in English, or maybe just said a phrase in Spanish. Only you know how much it costs you, and that's okay. It's your journey, it's your own path. And this is a free space, this is a safe space to for you to feel comfortable learning something. If you want to share on the comments in Instagram, or hey, I do appreciate, or I feel like this, and you want to share it, I probably won't have the answers of everything, but I will try to encourage you on learning, always with respect, always with empathy, always with love. And I hope we can get fun in this get a lot of fun in these new projects for me. All of you are welcome. Um, and that's okay. And it's okay if you don't get things um right on the first try. It's part of life. So I just want to speak a lot with you guys and share more of my brain, my thoughts, and my heart and my life in here. So thank you for listening to the journey of learning, the first episode of Cafecito in English. And for the second episode next week, probably, if probably not in a couple of days, I hope I can, but if not next week, um, of the pain of taking care of you. I think we will have a lot to say on that, on that one. Thank you guys for your patience and for try to listen to a girl who just have a lot of free time and a lot of dreams. Thank you and see you next week. Bye bye.